Hello and welcome to my Rocket channel. I'm Stephanie. Today we're going to work on the Rocket 2 sequence. Please join me at the top of the mat. Coming into Samasthiti, hands by your side. Inhale, our arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back. Lower slowly, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Pedal out your feet. Gaze forward, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, arms reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands by your side. Second one, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, stepping back with the opposite leg. Slowly lower down. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Gaze forward, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up, rise up. Exhale, Samasthiti, arms by your side. Last sun A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. You can step or maybe jump back, lower slowly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Inhale, gazing forward. You can step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Moving on to our sun Bs. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, flowing through your half vinyasa. From downward facing dog, left foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, plant your hands, make your way through a half vinyasa. Feet in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Gaze forward, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. Second sun B. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back. Flow through your half vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, plant your hands. Making our way through half vinyasa. 5 breaths. Gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti, last sun B. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, flow through your half vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana A. Play with your hands, step back, making our way through our half vinyasa. 5 breaths here. Gaze forward, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. Beginning our rocket 2 sequence, coming into Utkatasana, holding for 5 breaths here. Maybe you interlace your fingers, reach your palms towards the sky, gaze slightly up. And releasing down for Ardha Utkatasana, half chair, belly towards thighs, arms reach forward. Plant your hands, coming into our first arm balance, bakasana, or you can do yogi squat. Holding here. You can step back, or maybe you shoot your legs back. Up dog, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana A, holding here. Palms pressed together, gaze at your thumbs. Inhale, straighten the leg, open it up to the side for Virabhadrasana B. Gaze over your middle finger. Inhale, straighten the front leg, maybe the back leg comes in, coming into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Gazing up at the left thumb. Exhale, left hand comes down, coming into Parivarika Trikonasana, revolve triangle. Hand can be on the inside or the outside of the right foot. Inhale the right arm up. Gazing towards your thumb. Inhale, windmill your arms up, reset with the warrior 2 legs, coming into Utthita Konasana, extended side angle. Hand can be on the thigh or on the floor. You can half bind here, maybe full bind. Inhale, rise up, resetting with warrior 1. Inhale, palms reach up together. Exhale, twisting, hooking your left elbow outside of your right leg. Gaze over your right shoulder. Plant your hands, step back, making our way through a half vinyasa. From downward facing dog, we're coming into our first Pincha Mayurasana. If that's not any practice, you can come down and work on your dolphin dips, nose to hands, or alternate leg lifts. Maybe you come to a wall. We'll spend a few rounds of breath here. and bring your feet back to the mat. Coming in the downward facing dog. We get to do all that on the other side. Inhale, the left foot steps forward. Rise up, Virabhadrasana A. Palms pressing together. Gaze towards your thumbs. Inhale, open it up to the side for Virabhadrasana B. Gazing over your middle finger. Strong warriors. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Back leg can come in, reaching forward, coming into Utthita Trikonasana. Gazing up at the right thumb. Exhale, right hand down. Coming into our Parvarita Trikonasana, revolve triangle. Same hand placement that you had on the other side. Gazing up at your left hand. And inhale, windmill your arms up, reset with warrior two legs. Coming into our Utthita Konasana. You can have a half bind, maybe a full bind. Inhale, rise up, resetting with a warrior stance. Exhale, twisting, hooking your right elbow outside of your left leg, gazing over your left shoulder. Plant your hands, make your way through a half vinyasa. In downward facing dog, we're coming into our second Pincha Mayurasana. You can work on your dolphin pose to build the strength, come to a wall, or if you're comfortable with getting upside down in the middle of the room, maybe you work on your straddle press from Pincha. Wide legs, leaning forward and lifting the feet off the mat. Slowly lifting. If your feet left the mat, slowly make your way back down. Feet are hip distance apart, walking our hands to meet them at the back of the mat. Peace finger the big toes. Inhale, find length. Exhale, folding forward for Padangusthasana. Can be a slight bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, releasing the big toes, hands underneath your feet for Padahastasana. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, folding forward. Elbows reaching away from the body. Maybe your toes wiggle onto your wrists for a little massage. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, releasing our hands. Crossing our arms for a ragdoll. And releasing that, hands in front of us, we're going to press our way to the top of the mat for a little toe taps. So have about a foot distance in front of you, a couple hand distance in front. Lean forward, tap your wrist, tap your wrist. Inhale, half lift, change the placement of your hands, lifting the hips. Tap with the opposite foot first, other side. Inhale, half lift, change the hand placement, lean forward, tap, and tap. Inhale, half lift, exhale, grabbing onto the waist. Inhale, rise all the way up. And we'll take a giant step out with our right leg coming into our wide-legged forward fold, our Prajurita Padottanasana A, arms out to a T. Exhale, folding forward, hands are in line with our feet. Inhale, we half lift. Exhale, folding forward, crown of the head to the mat. From here, you can come into a headstand, maybe another pinch up, or maybe a handstand. If your feet left the mat, slowly making their way back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, grab onto the waist. Inhale, rising all the way up. Arms to a T. We'll interlace our hands behind our back for C. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding forward. Hands drawn away from the spine. Crown of the head towards the mat. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, releasing, arms to a T. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, folding forward for D, grabbing peace finger around the big toes. Inhale for length. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, releasing the toes, planting our hands in line with our shoulders, walking our feet out for our Samakhanasana, our splits. You can stay upright on your hands, maybe come down to your forearms. Breathing here. Inhale, slowly walking our feet back together. We're coming into Hanumanasana on our right side at the back of the mat. You can do full splits, half splits, quarter splits. It's up to you, wherever you are today. Making our way there. Inhale, lifting up, pivoting to the front of the room for Hanumanasana on the other side. Again, quarter, half, or full. Inhale, lifting up. We're coming into Vishakanasana, a seated wide-legged forward fold. From here, I like to walk it out and let gravity help me melt closer to the mat. Inhale, rising up for a side body stretch. Right hand under right calf. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, reaching your left arm to the right side, gazing past your arm. Inhale, rising up. Other side, left hand under left calf. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, reaching your right hand to the left side, gazing up past your right arm. Inhale, rise up. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding forward, drawing your hands away from your spine. Inhale, rising up. Coming into our Mula Bandha checkups. Starting with the right leg. Hands on either side of your right leg. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, pick it up. And release that down. Other side. Hands on either side of your left leg. Exhale, forward. Inhale, pick it up. Maybe it's one foot. Maybe it's no feet. Maybe it's just your bum. And release down, making our way through a half vinyasa. From down facing dog, gaze forward, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Hands in reverse prayer, or grab opposite elbows. Inhale, rise up. Step back with your right foot facing the back of your mat for our pyramid pose. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, folding over that right leg. Inhale, rise up. Pivot, face the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding over the left leg. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, releasing the hands. Samasthiti. Let's salute the sun. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Flowing through our vinyasa. If you want a handstand here, kick it up. And shoot it back. Downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, jumping our feet towards the top of the mat. We're coming in a bakasana. It's a twist. From here, you can do prayer hands. Exhale, twisting, hooking the right elbow outside the leg. Or if you want the bind, inhale and exhale, reaching your right arm around. Left arm comes around your back. Trying to grab onto whatever you can and gaze over your left shoulder. And releasing that, coming into our side crow. On the right, you can create a shelf with your arms, or you can balance on your right arm. Kicking your legs out to the side. From here, lifting the top leg, kicking it back for Ekapada Kundanyasana. Bringing your feet back together, legs long. And shoot it back for half vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog, gaze forward. We gotta do that on the other side. So jump your feet up and coming into our bakasana. So either hands together in prayer, twisting, hooking the left elbow, or inhale that left arm up, exhale, twisting to the right, binding around your legs, right arm behind your back, gazing over your right shoulder. And releasing out of that, coming into our side crow, partial bakasana, either creating that shelf with both arms or balancing on your left arm. Knees bent. From here, coming into your Ekapada Kundanyasana, kicking that top leg back, and then bringing the foot away, shooting it back for our half vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're coming in our crouchasana. If you'd like to jump in that pose, we bend our left leg back like in hero, and right leg is long. Or just come to a seat and bend your left leg back. From here, grabbing onto our foot, lifting our leg up. You can hold onto your foot, pointing the toe, or binding around. We're not leaning back in this pose. We're trying to keep our spine upright. Gaze towards your toes. Releasing the hands. Foot stays engaged. Little pulse. And release that down. Slow the foot to the mat. We're coming into our bakasana. Flying crow. Bending our elbows. Right knee to right tricep. Maybe you lift your left leg up. Shoot it back. Flow through your half vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Do that on the other side. Again, if you want to jump into crouchasana, your right knee is bending and your left leg is straight. From here, grabbing onto the left foot, point toes, either grabbing onto the foot or around, keeping your upright. Releasing the foot, pulse. Hello, hip flexors. And sole the foot to the mat for our bakasana on the other side. So when we bend our arms, your left knee makes contact with your left elbow or tricep. And float the right leg up. Shoot it back. Flow through your half vinyasa. Meeting downward facing dog. From here, we're coming into our 8 angle or bakasana. We practice jumping into that. I'll break it down into 2 parts. So, from downward facing dog, jump your feet to straddle around your right hand. Kicking your legs out to the side, crossing at the ankles, slight lean forward, gaze at your feet, squeeze your bicep. From here, straighten your arms, left leg through, coming into bakasana, right leg swings back, half vinyasa. Other side from downward facing dog. Breaking it down into 2 parts. We're going to jump, straddle the left hand with your feet, kicking them out to the side, crossing at the ankles, slightly lean forward, gaze at your feet, squeeze your bicep. Straighten your arms, right foot comes between the hands, bending down again for bakasana. Left leg swings back, half vinyasa. From downward facing dog, gaze forward, coming onto our bellies. We're coming into sirsasana, locust pose. Arms long by the side, feet together, palms facing up. Inhale, lifting, pressing the tops of our hands into the mat. Exhale down, reaching the arms overhead like Superman. Inhale, you lift. Keep reaching, feet together as long as there's no pain in your lower back. Exhale, release down. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift up. Draw your hands away from your spine. Gaze up. And exhale, releasing that lifting up into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we're coming in to our Virasana, our hero pose. If you'd like to hop into that, we jump up, slowly lowering down to our shins, legs around the outside, kind of hugging around us. From here, lift and lower your hips, coming down your forearms. If this is okay and you want to come all the way down, continue to lift and lower your hips all the way back. Arms reach overhead, crossing and grabbing opposite elbows. Supta Virasana. I wish I could stay here all day. I love this stretch, feels so good. But moving on, to get out of this, grab onto your heels, press into your forearms and your elbows, slowly lift, working your way back up. We're coming into our tripod headstand, and we'll lower into our bakasana from there. So put your hands, crown of the head to the mat. From here, you can bend your knees and place them on your arms to lift up, or straight leg, piking to the top. When you get there, bend your knees, coming into bakasana, slowly lifting your head, gazing forward, and shooting it back for your half vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, coming onto our bellies again for bow pose, dhanurasana. Bend your knees, grabbing onto your ankles. Inhale, lifting, drawing your feet away from your bum. Slight gaze up. Releasing down, inhale, lifting, rolling over to your right for partial dhanurasana. Head is off the mat, slight gaze towards the sky. Legs are active, drawing away from you. Exhale back to center, inhale, lift it up, left side. Again, legs are actively drawing away. Head is off the mat, slight gaze up. Exhale back to center. Inhale, lift up one more time. Higher, higher. And releasing down. We're coming into our Rajakapotasana. So straighten your arms, trying to reach your toes to your head. And releasing down, lift up, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Like we did with our Virasana, we're coming into our camel pose, Ustrasana, but if you'd like to jump up and slowly lower from your handstand, kick it up, lower your shins down, and we're in our camel pose. So from here, hands can be like they're in pockets, maybe you reach for your heels, maybe your toes stay up, or tops of your feet. Shoulders drawing forward. Maybe you relax your head between, as long as you don't have any neck pain. Thighs are engaged, hips drawing forward. And slowly lifting up. Head is last to come. And coming into our child's pose. can repeat the sirsasana one more time, or a deeper variation is bakasana. So we can come into that, palms together, lifting your arms up, slowly reaching back, hands to the mat, lower your crown of your head, grabbing onto your feet, pressing your hips away from the mat. If you're in this position, plant your hands, lift up, coming into our wheel pose, slowly stepping our feet up, pressing our hips towards the sky. You can gaze between your hands or straight out in front of you. From here, come down the crown of your head, reposition your hands, maybe shorten the distance and lift back up. And slowly lower all the way down, knees together, feet towards the sides of your mat, releasing your lower back. Now we're going to do some ab work, re-engaging our core. So, fingertips behind the head, toes towards the sky, or feet towards the sky, toes too. Inhale, lower down until you feel your lower back lifting off the mat, and hover there and breathe. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower, hover. Only going until you feel your lower back lifting. Then lift them back up a little bit. Back needs to make contact with the mat. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. Hover. Hold. Breathe. And inhale back up. We're going to do toe taps, alternating for a count of 10. So left touches right, right touches left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And rocking up, coming into our handstand. So from here, a few moments of playtime on whatever handstand variation you want to practice. Maybe take your mat to the wall, give a few moments of breath while you play around. And when you're done, making your way through vinyasa, half vinyasa, meaning downward facing dog. And again, like we did with our crouchasana, you can tuck your left leg, bend your knee, and jump through with straight right leg. We're coming in the Radharandrasana. It's a twist. So half hero pose, and then half lotus with your right leg. So your right foot tucks into your left hip crease. That right hand internally rotates around the back, grabbing onto your big toe. Inhale your left arm up, and exhale, twisting. You can grab your right knee, or palm up, fingertips towards your knee, palm pressing into the mat, gazing over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center, exhale release, going through your half vinyasa. Maybe you handstand and switch your leg across. Or from downward facing dog, right foot comes behind us, left leg long, jumping through. From here, left leg coming into that half lotus, tucking left foot into your right hip crease. Left hand internally rotates around the back, grabbing onto the big toe. Inhale that right arm up, exhale twisting, grabbing onto the knee or palm up and tucking your fingertips underneath your knee, palm to the mat. Exhale, gazing over that left shoulder. And exhale, releasing, making your way through half vinyasa. And we're coming into our Ardha Matsyendrasana. You jump and come into a seat, or maybe jump it up into a handstand, lowering down. I got the cross rounds. Left leg is on the bottom. Your right leg crosses over, sole of the foot on the outside of the left leg. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twisting, hooking your elbow outside, or you can bind it through your right leg with the right arm binding around the back, or full variation is straight arm grabbing inside of your right foot, right arm comes around the back, tucking into the left hip crease, gazing over your right shoulder. And exhale back to center, releasing. You can jump out into handstand, switching across. If you can figure out which leg needs to be on top. I always struggle with that, obviously. So I'm in a corkscrew. It's up and twist to the other side. So left hand, or left side of the room, hands up, lifting your hips. Feet do not move from their positions. We're just corkscrewing around to the right. And lowering back down. Now our right leg is on the bottom, left leg crossing over, sole of the foot outside of the right. Inhale that right arm up, exhale twisting. You can hook, bind, or straight arm grabbing inside of your left foot. Left arm internally rotates around the back, grabbing the right hip crease. Gaze over your left shoulder. Inhale and exhale, release. Making your way through a half vinyasa. And downward facing dog. Coming into our pigeon on our right side, right knee to right wrist, left leg long behind us. Inhale for length, gaze up. Exhale, folding forward, Adho Mukha Kapotasana. And inhale, rise up. Bending the left knee, coming into either quad stretch, maybe mermaid, or Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, king pigeon. And releasing down, planting your hands, right foot jumping to left, and we flow through a half vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Other side. Left knee to left wrist. Right leg long behind us. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising up, bending the right knee, repeating what you did on the other side, quad stretch, mermaid, or Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. And releasing that, plant the hands, left steps back, flow through your half vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog, jumping forward into a seat. We're coming into our Ekapada sirsasana, leg behind the head. I'm not sure if I'm able to get into that pose today, but hugging your right leg, opening up that hip. You can also come into compass pose, so right leg like a backpack on your shoulder, grabbing onto with your left hand on the outside of your right foot, straightening the leg, gazing to your left for that leg behind the head, just working that hip and swinging it behind you. Not today for me, it's hit or miss. I don't want to force it, you definitely don't want to force it, so you don't cause any injuries. And we'll go directly into the other side, grabbing onto the left leg, cradling your baby, opening up the hip joint. If you want compass pose, like a backpack with your left leg, right hand outside of left foot, straighten your leg, gaze to your right. Your left arm is like a kickstand. And we can try, see if I can get my leg back. Doesn't feel like it's gonna wanna go today. And it doesn't. So, every day is different, we just let that go. Pick it up. Coming through to half vinyasa. From downward facing dog, we're going to come into our peacock pose. So hands on the mat, fingertips towards you, bending your elbows. You're creating a shelf. And then maybe your feet lift, kind of like a teeter-totter. And coming into downward facing dog. From here, jumping through to seated, legs long in front of you for our Paschimottanasana. You can do A, peace finger to big toes. B, sides of the feet. C is grabbing hands on outside the sole of the feet. Pick your variation. Finding leg on an inhale, exhale, folding over your legs. Elbows drawn away from the mat. Unclench your jaw. Inhale, rise up, release. We're coming into our shoulder stand for our finishing poses. So lifting up, supporting our back. 8 breaths here. And lowering your feet behind you, over your head for plow pose, halasana. If the toes reach the mat, interlace your hands, extend your arms. 8 breaths. From here, we're going to bend our knees, coming into ear pressure pose, bakasana. Squeezing onto our ears, our temples. 8 breaths. And straightening the legs, coming back into that shoulder stand, supporting our back. From here, we're going to come into lotus legs, or Urdhva Padmasana, or Sukhasana, easy seat, upside down. From here, if you can balance on your shoulders, grabbing onto your knees. We don't want to put that pressure, the weight into our neck. So if you're balancing and feeling pain in your neck, keep your hands on your back for support. From here, we're going to lower our legs down towards our forehead, coming into embryo pose, pindasana. And so that I can talk, I won't come into full variation, but our hands wrap around our legs into a bind. Eight breaths. From here, arms long, slowly lowering down, keeping the lotus legs, coming into our fish pose, so coming up to our forearms, opening our chest, lifting and releasing our head down, crown of the head towards the mat. From here, you can keep your arms to support you if you're not feeling comfortable with removing that support, but if you are, grab onto your feet, arms are straight, gaze at your nose. From here, you can stay in this variation or flying fish, releasing the lotus legs, legs together, 45-degree angle, arms together, palms pressing together, 45-degree angle. Gaze at your third eye. Releasing out of this, lift your head, flowing through your half vinyasa, jump back. And downward facing dog. From here, we're coming into a supported headstand, sirsasana, with our palms together, forearms on the mat. Crown of the head comes between your forearms. Walking your feet up and lifting them up slowly, or you can bend your knees and lift up that way. Bandhas are engaged. Pressing into your forearms, You should be able to slide a piece of paper underneath your forehead. Your arms are that engaged. Helps build the strength for your pincher practice as well, but doesn't cause any damage to your neck by putting too much pressure on your head. In Ashtanga, we would hold this for 25 breaths, but for the sake of this video, about 10 breaths, maybe 15. After that, we pike it down, hold. You should be able to see your toes. Either 5 to 10 breaths here. Inhale, lifting the legs back up. And exhale, bringing them all the way down to the mat. Coming into a child's pose. From here, half vinyasa. Downward facing dog, gaze forward, coming into a seat. Legs long. We're coming into lotus legs, or you can come into sirsasana, easy seated pose. Right leg for lotus into the left hip crease. Maybe half lotus, you bend that left leg and the foot comes underneath your right leg. This is okay too. Or full lotus, lifting that left foot, tucking into the right hip crease. For yoga mudra, arms behind the back, grabbing opposite elbows, or grabbing onto the big toes. That's a big shoulder opener. Inhale for length, exhale, folding forward, chin towards the mat, or maybe your forehead. Ten breaths. Inhale, rise up, releasing the bind, hands on top of your knees, palms facing towards the sky, thumb and index finger joined together, last 3 fingers are long, slight tuck of the chin, close your eyes or gaze at your nose, 10 breaths here. And releasing that. For our last little bit of effort, we're coming in the Utpati, hands by your hips. Inhale, drawing your knees close to you, picking it up. Scale pose, breathing here. And release. You can handstand out of this. You can roll through one more half vinyasa. Or if you're done, stretching your legs long, laying down on your mat, coming into your shavasana, arms long by your sides, palms up for receiving, palms down for grounding, whatever you need today. There's nothing left to do, the work is done. Let go of your breath. Friends, thank you for joining me today with this Rocket 1 sequence. I invite you to stay in your Shavasana for at least 5 to 10 minutes, just relaxing and letting go, taking this opportunity for yourself. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.